Hello, today I am going to do a video that talks about how you can move through some emotions you might be feeling currently so that you can feel more empowered and like you have more authority in your life. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Patricia Brooks. Back in 2018, I moved from Richmond, Virginia to the south of France. And now I help people who are ready to start the next chapters of their lives, living and thriving in a foreign country, but who would like support and encouragement and help in building their confidence and courage to make it happen. And on this channel, I talk about my life in France, moving abroad, and how to dig down and find that grit and that determination so that you can do the things that mean the most to you, even when they feel scary. And today I'm going to talk about something I didn't want to have to talk about, something I was hoping would have gone a different way. And that is processing your thoughts and your emotions around the election in the US, the recent election in the US. Okay. And I'm going to do this through something I learned in coach training. I went through IPEC, the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching, and they teach something called energy leadership. They believe that there are 7 different levels of energy from 1 to 7, 1 being the lowest level of energy, which is the least productive, up to level 7, which is, kind of enlightened, transcendent energy where you can accomplish things that seem impossible. And I'm going to talk to you about the first 3 levels because I think that may be where many of you are sitting and may need to work through or work up the ladder so that you can feel more empowered. Okay. So on election day, I was in Barcelona. My good friend Felicia from New Jersey came to visit, and we were going to spend a few days in Barcelona and then come over to France. And so she arrived on election day, and I was excited. She had brought me my Harris Walls t-shirt that I had ordered at the end of August, and I couldn't have delivered here. And so I put that on, and I was really excited. And then went to bed. We're 6 hours ahead of East Coast time, so I knew there wouldn't be any results. And woke up the next day, and as my friend was taking a shower, I decided I was going to see if we had any results. And I looked, and what I saw was not promising. They had not called the election yet, but what I saw was not promising. And tears started to come to my eyes. My throat, felt like there was something in it. And I felt this sick feeling in the pit of my stomach. It was really a lot like what I felt when both of my parents died. This feeling of, oh my gosh, the worst thing has happened. And how am I going to cope with this? How am I going to handle this? So I kind of pulled myself together when my friend came out of the shower, and we're headed down to breakfast, and I had no appetite. Before, we were talking about breakfast, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to get a good breakfast. We're going to be touring Barcelona. I need that. And when I saw how it was headed, I felt sick. I really did. And had I been at home and not on vacation, I might have just curled up in a ball and slept, or really not done a whole lot that day. But we were in Barcelona. So our plans were to get on the hop-on, hop-off bus, and that's what we did. And I sat there, and I was on the upper deck of this bus, and the really neat architecture was whizzing by, and I was sitting there like a zombie. I was in my own world. I was not feeling great. I was tired because when a big stress happens, that really zaps your energy. But had I had a choice, I might have been curled up in a ball in bed. That's level 1 energy. And the core thought for level 1 energy is victim. Oh, there's nothing I can do. Look what has happened to me. And every energy level has a core thought, a core emotion, and a core action or result that result from that core thought and that core emotion. Okay. So the core thought is victim, nothing I can do. Core emotion is apathy, right? I was sitting there, a zombie. And the action or result from that thought and that emotion is lethargy. And that was what I was feeling. So Thursday, the following day, I moved through some emotions. I was really tired. I didn't get much sleep because I'd wake up and all I could think about was, oh my gosh, what does this mean? What is this going to mean for the US? What is this going to mean for the world? But that day at breakfast, I was still wasn't feeling like I had much of an appetite, but I felt more angry than apathetic. So I was at level 2. Level 2, the core thought is conflict. And this conflict can be an internal conflict or an external conflict. But I was feeling angry. At level 2, you have this sense of things being black and white, right or wrong, good or bad. And I immediately judged that the fact that my candidate had not won to the fact that she was a Black woman, and that the people who did not vote for her, or many of the people who did not vote for her, did so because they could not see that a Black woman candidate who was more than qualified could be an effective president. And so I chalked it up to racism, right? It's black or white to me, right? Couldn't it be anything else? That was the thing for me. On Thursday, that was my feeling. And so I was angry. And, the result and the action of that anger is resistance, right? I wanted it to be another way. I was kind of like, which doesn't help matters because it is what it is. It drains your energy being in this anger mode, but there are benefits to each level of energy. And at the anger level, it is that if you get angry, you get off the sofa, you get out of bed, and you get into action, and you can accomplish things. Now, how you accomplish things or how long the things you accomplish last are probably not as prolonged or effective as if you are working out of a higher level of energy, but it gets you moving, right? So that is the upside. The downside, it's draining. It can be counterproductive to getting things done that will be more helpful to a bigger group of people, okay? And that's because level 1 and level 2 energy is all about you, right? You're not thinking about anybody else. You're just thinking about yourself. And as I said, the benefit at level 1 is, okay, well, if you're, lying in bed, maybe you're getting some rest, maybe people are waiting on you, but you're not getting anything done. You're not feeling like you have any power. And so it's really not a fun place to be in. All right. So let's move on to level 3. And level 3 is, I think, where I am. I think I'm between level 3 and level 4. Not really going to get into level 4 so much, but I will kind of glaze over it since I feel like I'm kind of at a mix here. It is about 6 days out from the election. And I am feeling like I am taking responsibility for how I move forward in the wake of the results. And so level 3 is the level of responsibility. That's the core thought. I'm going to take responsibility for my thoughts. I'm going to take responsibility for my actions. I'm going to take responsibility for how I'm going to experience my life. The core emotion here is letting go of some of the resentment or blame that you might feel if you're in level 2, if you're feeling anger like I did. So I've not forgiven, but I also am at a place where I recognize I am not in the millions of people's minds who voted for the other candidate. And that perhaps in some strange way, there is some good reason in their minds that they voted the way they did. I don't know that. And I'm not even going to litigate that. I am not even going to try to figure that out. I am going to move forward from where we are today. And take responsibility for my mood, take responsibility for what I do going forward, and know that I have the power and authority to do that. And so as a result, I am going to be more productive. I'm going to work and be more cooperative with myself, but also with others, because I recognize that I'm not the only person who is feeling the way that I'm feeling. And some people are feeling even far worse than I am. And so the feeling of cooperation, which is one of the reasons that I'm doing this video, level 4 energy, which I'm just going to brush over really quickly, is the level of compassion. And of the result of that compassion, that thought of compassion, that feeling of compassion, is being of service and helping. And so I'm doing this video because I want to help anybody who is feeling like they don't have any authority in their own life, that they don't have any control in their life. You absolutely do. And recognizing what energy level you are operating out of is the first step. Because once you're aware of, oh, I'm feeling like a victim, then you can make a decision. Do I want to stay here? Do I need to lie in bed and maybe get some rest? Or is it time for me to move up the scale to a level 2 or maybe even a level 3 so that I can feel better? I can stop draining my energy. I can do things that can help myself and maybe others move through this in a better way, right? So being aware of these energy levels is important, because and how they show up, so that you can diagnose yourself and then do what you need to do. Want to say something about level 1. Level 1 energy can be where you are if you are depressed. And if you are in a place where you feel like you need help to break out of a level 1 funk that you might be in, then get the help you need. Be that with a therapist, be that with a coach, be that with talking with somebody who can help you move through and out of that emotion, so that you can start to see that, oh, yeah, maybe there is something I can do, and start to feel better and start to re-engage in life. Okay, so I do want to put it out there that while I'm telling you, you have the power, you might not be able to access that power on your own, and you might need to get help. If that's the case, please get help. Okay. So those are the first 3 levels of energy. And then I talked about compassion at level 4. Is this interesting? Is this a topic that you would like me to do a workshop on, an online workshop on? Is this a topic that you want to learn more about, how you show up when life is treating you well and when life isn't treating you as well as you would like? So, and get some strategies on how to move through the different levels and choose the different levels that you want to operate at, that are going to allow you to have the kind of life that you want to have. If that's the case, if you're interested in having that assessment, then schedule a discovery call so I can share more about that, what that entails, what that costs, and we can go from there. Okay. One final thought I want to leave you with, and that is, I've seen a lot of people saying that they want to move out of the United States now that the election has gone in the way that it has. And I know there was some talk about it before, but I think some people are really much more serious about that. And I just want to say that, maybe moving abroad is the solution, maybe it's not. But as you consider this, I think it's a good idea to consider what problem you are trying to solve, or working to solve, or believe you will solve in making a move abroad. And I only say that because making a move abroad it's a big step. It's not an easy step. And once you're here, then it can be even harder, because getting to a place where you can actually thrive and be happy takes time. It takes a lot of effort and work, internal work to do it. And so it's not something to be entered into lightly. So I just want to put that out there. If you're considering making a move abroad, look at what problem will moving abroad solve for you. And then the second thing that I'd like for you to do is to kind of say, okay, yes, moving abroad is right for me, or no, moving abroad isn't right for me, whatever you decide. But then even if you decide moving abroad is the thing for you, you might not move abroad for another 6 months or a year. And so you may be feeling like you're in a situation that you don't want to be in. What are the things that you can do where you are now that can help to solve some of the problems where you are now, so that you're able to experience life in a better way? Okay? So those are two things that I wanted to leave you with. What problem are you trying to solve if making a move abroad now after the election is the thing that you want to do? And number two is, what problems can you solve where you are right now? What things can you do so that you can have a more peaceful life until you're able to make some changes, make some other changes? Okay. That's all I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you are hanging in there. I'm thinking about you, praying for you. Know that I am here for you, and I'm going to continue to put out content to help you. Okay? So that is all I have for you today. This was a hard video for me to put together, but I hope that it helps. If it does, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.